Okay. Since our last recording session with Alberto, we're going to be switching up to Jesse. We're going to catch up with his top 10 straight from Japan. So, hey.
All right.
So starting from 10, and then we're going to go.
Actually,
He's going to do his honorable mentions.
Yeah, we're going to start with my honorable mentions.
All right, that's
Oh, yeah, right. Honorable mentions first.
My number one honorable mention for the year of 2023, Mashal.
Mashal? Okay.
Edwin, did you finish that one?
I did not, but I watched most of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Funny, comic-y,
Yeah.
powery, over the top, One Punch Man
Meets Harry Potter.
history.
Yeah.
Yes. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Funny, hilarious. Gave me a great ride. Honorable mention all the way.
Yeah, that one's definitely played for the last.
Speaking of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Number two for my honorable mention would be Berserk Gluttony.
Yes.
Great.
I remember
I
Alberto
really enjoyed
mentioned
that one. I just finished watching that one. Yeah.
I think that was in Alberto's 10.
Great anime. Love the premise of it. Love the fantasy aspect, the OP powers, the fact that he had to start from zero to learn himself. I love anything that involves
That sword.
the sins.
That sword by
talking
itself.
swords.
Jesus, yeah.
He was a great counterpart. Period.
The sword itself was like
Period.
just a great character.
Could have been its own show, just like
I'd watch that.
As
I would watch that. I would watch the origin story.
That's it.
Yeah.
Definitely would love to see how he became the sword.
Greed's origin story would be an anime into itself.
Would watch the movie as a prequel.
Yeah.
100%. Number three, and a lot of you are going to be upset about this, that this is just an honorable mention, but this ain't your list, so I don't care.
100% yours.
Vinland Saga Season 2.
Okay.
I have yet to even bother.
I haven't even watched it.
Yeah.
We haven't dived into those, yeah.
Definitely very sleepish, more character development than I would have wanted in an anime,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty sure it's just gunning up for the next season, which should be amazing. But
A bit of a slow burn.
a slow burn would be an understatement. It would actually have to catch fire. So, with that said, we'll go into my top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10, starting off with something that you guys probably wouldn't even think I would do. And yes, there are isekai on this list, but they're more towards the front.
Everyone's listening.
So, number 10, Undead Unluck.
You know what? That was going to be one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Undead Unluck.
I like that show, and I did
premise that I never knew would have worked.
Oh yeah, it's good.
First
man.
of all, looking at the trailer, I was like, bro, there's no way this show could actually be decent. Watching the first 3 episodes, I was like, bro, there's no way this show can be canceled.
You're like, uh-oh.
It's fantastic, good time. Didn't see it coming. I love the way that some powers can cancel other powers, like Hunter x Hunter, which makes for a great dynamic of a show when no one person can be that overpowered.
Yeah.
I love it.
So let's set up like what the show is. Like, so when I first talked about it, it was only like the first episode or 2. And so you only got the part where unluck meant undead. And like, it's this thing of he saves her from wanting to kill herself because she just killed the boy that she loved because she has unluck. So if you touch her, bad luck happens to you.
Yes.
So they kissed. Bad luck happened to him. He died. So she was sad and she was like, all right, I'm done. And so Undead came and saved her because he can't die. And so because she has all this unluck, he's like, you could probably give me the best death ever. So At first, you think this show is just going to be about them doing this.
100%.
And
That's
then-
what I thought.
And then the first 2 episodes, and then chaos happens. And then you really get into the story of how there's this group of people, and they're called negators. So anybody that have these skills like undead, whatever, they're called negators. Negators are roaming around the world. There's this group of people that's like 10 of them, I think. They're 10 negators.
There can only be 10.
There can
well,
only be
at the
10,
at the start of the show, there can only be 10
10
seats.
Yes.
For one part of the organization for
Yes.
negators. So obviously, there's always going to be an opposite to whatever organization there is.
Yeah.
And what caught me was the fact that they didn't try to fight this organization.
No.
But rather, they were like, literally in episode, I believe, 2 or 3, they were
Yeah.
like, you know what?
We're going to
What happens if we join?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna stop hunting us? And that just
Right.
took me
By
for
surprise,
a
yeah.
totally different, because
Yeah.
that's never happened in anime.
Because
No.
he's done. He
It's
really
never
did it.
happened.
He really
It's
did
never
it for
been
her.
like, hey, this organization's hunting us. Well, can we just work with you? What?
Yeah. Let's team up.
Because he's
Yeah. Let's team up.
undead.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Undead, who she calls Andy.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. But she couldn't cope with
Yeah.
being hunted.
And he's just
So
along
he's
for the
just
ride.
like, well,
it was great. It was
we'll just join him.
such a random premise. I was just like, okay, now you got me.
but
Yeah.
for them to join them, they had to kill somebody
They had to empty the seats.
to empty the seats.
So
Wow.
now it gets dark.
Yeah.
Now it gets
Because they
dark,
weren't
yes.
even remotely playing with these people.
Right.
When they said, the moment they made the decision to join, they made the decision to kill. And I was like, this is real cartoony, but it's real gay. You got real dark, real
yeah.
quick.
Because they're negators, and this group is there to take out the negators. So then when they end up into the group, you realize that there's this talking book.
Don't
it's-
give too much.
And, no.
Jamal,
this-
Spoiler alert.
No.
He goes.
Spoiler
He goes
alert.
in deep.
This is important. So
Spoiler
there's this
alert.
talking book, and it's like God, and it gives this group missions, and if they fail, then he gives them punishments, and the punishment is
To
the,
release.
the negate. So it's like, all right, so you failed this mission, we're going to give you bad luck, and that's how you get unluck.
Okay.
Or if you failed this mission, then we're going to give you.
But they release it to the entire world.
Yes.
So if you fail a mission, they'll give you sexually transmitted disease.
Yes.
Just as
Right.
the whole world
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
has sexually and they've always had it.
Right.
So the only people who don't know about the history of the world at that point, once it changes,
okay.
Yes.
is the
negators.
The negators.
Okay.
So now they have to figure out.
So they have to
They
succeed,
have
or the
to.
whole world pays.
Yes,
They have
Okay.
to.
That's
and
an
it
interesting
pays a
premise.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what caught me, because it became such a great premise
Yeah.
that it is just about undead. And then his backstory is even crazier. So,
It's so
but we're not
good.
going to give any away.
We're not
going
gonna
to
go
you
too
need to
deep
go watch
into it.
because Undead Unluck is
So, yeah.
the sleeper. It would be my
was
number
great.
one sleeper of 2020.
And this
Wow.
is, again, this is a Hulu exclusive.
Okay.
So,
Number
so
one
that
sleeper.
even like Hulu's doing good work there.
Yeah.
So when I made my list, it was only after those first couple episodes, so I couldn't put it higher. If I could redo my list now, it would
Wow.
definitely be higher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone
And
who's
I
been in the
love
so
that
series,
good.
about good anime.
It was
Is
so
came
good.
out of
because-
nowhere.
Like sometimes people are like, is it good? I'm like, look, sometimes you have to wait till episode 6,
Yeah.
where it just totally turns on its head. You've gotten the introduction out of the way, and now they get into the world, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Yes, this is
They
what's
just
happening.
like, yeah,
And I tell people that I give all of my animes 3 episodes.
yeah.
I have a 3
That's the minimum.
episode limit. If I can't get caught up into this after 3 episodes, it's not for me. And
Yeah.
that's fine. I think there might have been one anime in my life, I can't remember what the name was, where it took more than 3 episodes, like 6, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm cool with this.
Yeah.
But no, I'm definitely a 3 episode person. I don't care how slow the first 2 are.
Well, you have to. That's the introductory arc. Like they're gonna introduce like the characters, and the characters are in a certain situation. But once you get over that first arc, they have to introduce what they're gonna do for the rest of the show. And when they do that, like sometimes it's like, oh, this is what you're doing. I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, but then sometimes you're just like, wait, you're going against my expectations, and you're gonna introduce all kinds of crazy shit. I'm there for it.
That would be Undead Unluck.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Great.
100%.
It's a very
You
good
thought
show.
you knew what you were getting into.
Nope.
Prepare yourself for this ride.
And they spun it on its axis.
I love
and
it.
It's a really
And I
good
can't
show.
wait for more.
And it's literally underrated. It's like ranked number 4 or 5 for the season.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It was pretty
sleeper
high on
anime
my anime list
of
too.
2023.
Well, it creeped
Very
up.
And the trailers gave it no justice.
No, the trailers gave it no justice.
No justice.
Trailers usually like it's hard to do.
No justice.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You don't know any of the dialogue. You don't know any of
Yeah.
the characters. Anime trailers are the hardest, I think, for them to convey.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah.
To register too, like you can see
Yeah.
it, like in it won't be crystal clear. It's just how it is.
It's a good show. And it's ridiculous. Just like
Over the
Andy
top.
and Fuko, their relationship is very
And-
over the top,
Oh
but
my God.
it balances out well with the stakes.
And definitely an M rating
that are there.
not for kids.
Oh yeah, definitely not for kids.
But not
Definitely not for kids. I mean,
Not
it's not
showing
like
any nudity.
yeah, it's
You
not
can watch it on the big TV if your kid's over 12.
a young child, but like a teenager or whatever. It's not.
They're okay.
It's not egregious.
Yeah,
You know.
it's not crazy, but there's some stuff you're like, where did this? Okay, you said you're 18. Thank God.
Right.
No, that's
Right.
how you felt.
Yes.
You're like,
Yes.
thank you for telling me your age
Absolutely.
because I was not okay with this in the
Absolutely.
beginning. But when you said your
Absolutely.
age, I was like,
It made
I
it.
can roll with it.
It made it
I
okay.
can roll with it.
It made it. It
100%.
It made it like it would like if she was under 18, it'll make you very uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. Super.
Very uncomfortable.
Super uncomfortable.
But with her being 18,
It
Like,
makes
you
it-
would
yeah.
think Chris Hansen was like, what are you watching there? I'm sorry.
her being 18 is perfect because it's old enough for you to not be uncomfortable
With what
but
happens,
She's
yeah.
young enough where you're like,
Makes sense.
I feel her discomfort.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's the perfect age for her.
Okay.
So I'll say, I remember my 10. So I'll say that my number 10 was Reborn as a Vending Machine. I Now Wander the Dungeon.
Which was an interesting choice for you.
Very nice choice.
You caught up way past us because we barely gave it 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't make my list, actually.
It was one that
Which
I
is kind
didn't
of
expect
surprising
it
with
to.
you like isekai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually surprised too, but as I went back, it didn't have enough.
And that's
And there were a
understandable.
few isekais this season that just didn't hit the mark, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's understandable.
And that was
Well, I
one
think
of
the
them.
fantasy shows
Came
just
hard.
straight- yeah,
they
the
came
straight
hard. They
fantasy
came
shows.
hard this season, this year.
Yeah.
They came
Yeah.
hard. What do I have for number 9? Naturally coming in, Attack on Titan season finale.
Like
That
finale,
was the-
specifically the finale, and not
Finale. Finale.
that's what I mean.
Finale episode.
The final
The end.
episode,
Finale.
not the one
The
part.
I said what I said.
Yeah. Okay,
The end.
That's
Yeah.
what I said.
not the first half, but the second.
2023 season finale.
End.
Because people still get confused with that.
No,
too.
because
Nope.
we got 2 parts in 2023. So I
Season
understand.
finale part 2.
Yes,
There we go.
I agree.
Nothing really needs to be said about that if you ever watched Attack on Titans.
Yeah.
If you didn't, I don't know why you're listening to this
Edwin has to
podcast.
catch up. Edwin has
I need to catch up. These two have
Oh
finished
my
it. I
God,
need
what
to
is
catch up.
happening?
I stopped. Well, because it's like, okay.
Can we mute this? Why punch
He
him?
hates
No, no. No,
Edwin hates Shonen.
I pulled a Jamal and I said I'm going to wait till it's done. Because I got
done.
No, I know. And I'm going to catch up on it.
2024.
Yeah, I know. But I'm going to
You're
catch
not
up.
helping.
I'm going to watch
You're
it.
not helping yourself.
It's done. Now I can watch it without having to wait.
I can
want to
I can
punch you in the
understand
chest.
because it got frustrating when
No.
they kept
No,
releasing
I
it in
want to
parts.
punch you.
Yeah.
And as a true AOT fan, you
But-
should have been there.
Yeah, you should have been.
Hey,
I'm okay.
Look, when your wife says she's having a baby and the baby don't come out, do you just stop going to the hospital?
Yes.
He would.
I'm
Same here.
number 8.
Oh wait, my
And
number-
before
my
Christina
number-
hears this, number 8.
she can listen. My number 9 was Castlevania.
I call bullshit.
That was my number 9.
It's an anime. Challenge.
Ouch. He threw down the card, man.
You're not going to give that. You're
No.
not going to call it. You're not going to
No.
classify that as anime.
No.
Wow.
I think it's just in the middle. It's just
No.
It's
Wow.
Like,
No.
It's just in
You're
the
classifying
No.
that as animation and not anime.
Yes. 100%. Challenge me.
Oh, shit. He has thrown down the gauntlet, sir.
Okay, if you say that,
It's battle time.
that's all right. I got backups.
Okay, because I will not accept that.
He's not accepting that.
I am not accepting that as anime. You heresy. I feel disrespected being at this table sitting across from you right now. You disrespected me. How could you
That's what I
call
do.
that anime?
That's what I do.
So anything that's on Netflix
Well,
that's color.
all right. Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
That's I really don't like watch a lot of Netflix.
no.
stuff.
But you watch that and you call it anime?
Blue Eye Samurai.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
Do you like Blue Eye Samurai?
Is it on Crunchyroll?
Is Blue Eye Samurai
No.
anime?
No. It is garbage beyond garbage.
Oh,
It's
shit.
more of it reminds me of a lot of like of Disney adapted in
Kotaro Lives Alone is anime,
Well,
That's on
yes.
Netflix.
That's 100% anime.
but that's on Netflix.
It's from a Japanese studio.
So it has to be from a Japanese studio. to
I
be
would
anime.
say yes.
Well, Scott Pilgrim because wasn't that like part of like
Canadian. Next.
no, but the Siren
Is
Saru.
this Solo
Siren
Leveling
Saru.
Korean?
Siren Saru did the new one.
I'm not familiar. Is that
From
the
Japan.
Mexican?
They're
I'm
from
not.
Japan.
I would have. Can you pull it up? I'm not too familiar with that one. Honestly,
They-
I
they
might
did-
have to see.
They did keep your hands off ice. Guy.
Yeah, so Solo Leveling is based off of
The Korean.
a Korean manga.
Yeah.
Korean's fine.
So if
But
it's
what you are saying,
if it's Asian, it's okay.
yes,
If it's
I will
American, it's
stand by
not.
that. 100 or Canadian or Mexican.
It has to be Asian.
No, it has to be either Asian or European because part of they got some Asians in Europe.
So-
you're not gonna get me with
So
that.
Link Click is Chinese. Is that anime?
Link.
Link Click.
Link click.
Who's the Link? What?
Link Click.
Link click. It's the.
I don't think I've.
You haven't seen that one?
It's
No.
a mistress. It's like.
It's a
Nah,
Chinese-
I couldn't speak on it if I haven't seen it.
But it's Chinese, so Chinese is okay. That's anime.
Yeah, China has its own animes. Period. They do.
That's an interesting conversation.
Okay, what about Yasuke?
American. No.
So it's not anime.
No. It is 100% American animation and in their style.
This is the Avatar
The
debate.
chins, you can tell by the chin. Just based off American style has a harder chin than anime. Based off the muscle mass, the way American anime draws their stuff almost like comic book characters with a bigger neck and a stronger chin line. And you're going to be hard pressed to not see that in the animes or the animations that you're talking about. Castlevania, big neck, hard chin line. Yasuke, big chin, hard, big neck. I know. It hurts.
Well,
but you can accept it.
Well,
You can have your opinion.
what about style?
It's not an opinion at this
Jesse.
point.
What? How can I say this? Like, what would you agree that the style would be like considered like an anime inspired, at least like Boondocks?
Anime is fine. Okay.
like Boondocks, like
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack,
Avatar.
Avatar, Last Airbender.
See what I mean?
No.
There's that
American
dilemma.
animation.
Yeah, but it's
That's like saying
Well-
Ben 10 is considered an anime.
That's animation.
Exactly.
That's a cartoon.
That's how I feel about the Avatar. No.
You won't even
It's
classify.
Danny Phantom
would you cla-
anime?
would you
Like,
cla-
come on.
Would you classify
Well-
Avatar as anime influenced?
that's what I mean.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
And
Influence, but not anime.
I feel
Yasuke, influence, but not anime.
anime.
Blue-Eyed Samurai, influence, but not anime. Period.
Blue Line reminds me more of kind of like
he
that
definitely has
Asian
more of a
inspired more than anime.
He has hard lines he's not going to cross. Is I think
That's
what he's
fair,
telling
that's
you.
fair.
Yeah.
It's similar to sub and dub. Like
That's
you only
100%.
watch a sub or you only watch a dub.
Understand. And I don't mind them for what they are.
Mm.
But for you to sit here and claim that
Well, he
that
doesn't-
was anime,
He doesn't want. Yeah.
never.
He doesn't want his anime defiled.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't.
No, sir. He does not.
No, I don't. I don't want an American industry trying to propose what used to be small clique in society.
That's fair.
Like
That's fair.
you don't get to make money off of me and call it what it is. What it isn't.
That's fair.
That's not right. We spent our lives being persecuted for our beliefs and love of anime, and now you just want to come and get the dollar off me? Screw you.
Well, it's
Well,
kind of like
that's-
what Netflix do with their live
That's
adaptations.
Netflix's entire that's Netflix's entire business model.
Yeah.
Bro,
With like
didn't do what Crunchyroll did and partner with Japanese studios.
Mhm.
But don't call a spade a heart. And
So
expect me
which
to play the
studio
suit.
produces
I don't know.
Castlevania.
I think that is Japanese. I thought,
I don't know. I don't know which animation studio does it.
or at least the newest season. Yeah.
So I'm definitely would never ever claim Castlevania as anime. It's great. I love it.
It's just the stylings. Yeah.
It's a style.
That's because it's kind of like a
It's
thin
like
line.
calling Leoso. What the hell was that crappy big headed anime CGI crap? Leoso.
Yeah, also with film genres too, like traditional kung fu, which is a region, but there'll be like kung fu hustle, like parodies, things like that. It like you get the feeling of it being a kung fu film, but it's not exactly in the region or the style. It's a thin line. It's like a very like.
I like to
you
think
get the influences.
I know where that line was crossed, and from being who I am and watching what I watch and loving what I love.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sit well. You know, if you drink wine and all of a sudden someone gives you liquor, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get messed up, but it's not the same. So where are we at? Why Jamaal looks up the studio producer of that one.
I thought it was
number 8.
Powerhouse Animation Studios and Project 51 Productions.
American.
Project 51. I've definitely heard what some other stuff they done.
Maybe they did Star Wars. I have to double check that.
Yeah, don't they? They all sound familiar. Like we definitely watched some stuff.
We watch enough animation here where, like, yeah. What's your number 8?
Oh, Demon Slayer.
That's my number 8 as well.
Which arc was that? I believe that was the
Swordsmith.
Arc. Yep. So
that was a good arc.
That was a beautiful arc.
The ending saved it. It definitely carried over. I
would say it definitely got to number 8 because of the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
and they were beautiful.
Yeah,
that one battle with the stone guy that was like where it kind of stalled, and you're like, no one's gonna die.
Well, they had me like I was like
the Stone Dragon. This
2023 was a hard year for me, and seeing Nesco, like thinking that Nesco was gonna die, that man, I was just like, do not do this to me,
because you know
right
what?
Now
in
because
anime, you never know.
I know that's the
you never know.
You don't
like
you
bro,
just don't.
Bro, you're like they could actually fucking do this.
These people,
bastards,
and they'll stick with it.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
And they'll stick with it.
They will. They don't. It's not like America where they're gonna bring them back.
Bro.
It's like once they're dead, they're dead. Like these people were like Game of Thrones kills people. I'm like, no, you have not watched anime. They kill everybody. They're dead. They're gone.
It's done.
And so
Attack on Titan, they gone.
They're gone.
We lost. It gave me hard compensation.
yeah. Oh, I'm watching this. Tears are starting to stream out of my eyes. I'm like, not Nesco. You can't do this to me.
I'm a big boy.
You know,
I'm a big boy.
like I can't do this. You cannot do this to me this season.
Me.
I'm not ready for this.
Figure.
Yeah. Like no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He said my Nezuko figure.
That's right.
I heard that.
Oh shit.
It's officially Jesse's and Jamal's.
Jamaal, you might want to leave that here for a bit.
I gotta give him custody on the weekends.
There you go.
But yeah, that was a all gas, no filler season.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there wasn't an ounce of filler. Well, even I want to say the Entertainment District arc.
Oh
like,
yeah.
There was like
it didn't, but it had a weird like even more emotional weight. This one had up till Nesco like almost dying.
I would say
this
that the district arc had a better fight scene art wise.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting with Demon Slayer, you're getting to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
What you've had in these villains leading up to this is pretty much just abused and taken advantage of villains. Like they have this sad story because this guy has preyed on them. Now you're getting to the nitty gritty where they're just bad.
Yeah.
They're just bad.
And
I
love that.
There's no remorse. There's no like
didn't cry over him at all. He just
he's just
and
he's just bad.
And you're not getting one. They're like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Deal with all of them.
Yep.
Because it was rough.
And that's where the shonen part kicks in because he's got to step up his game. Tanjiro has to step up his game. This is where you start to see it, where he's like, they're like, wait, he doesn't realize it. He doesn't realize how strong he's becoming. But everybody else is like, wait, how did you do that? wait, how? What?
And
Yeah.
Nezuko, she just became like one of like a tier 3 demon and didn't even
Blink of an eye.
even try.
Nope.
And no one even knows how powerful she actually freaking is because she always comes in at that clutch. Like, bro, she arm come off 3 seconds. Got another one.
That
she
regeneration.
Like, middle finger, cut off, middle finger.
Well, I honestly think it's because she spent all that time sleeping.
Yeah.
And it's like she's
conserving energy.
like,
and he's taking good care of her.
Yeah.
Wait. My number 8 was the Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah, Bip.
Okay.
That was a late catch up for Jamaal.
It's an amazing show. Like
I've only 2 episodes in, so it hasn't hit my 3
I was
yet.
only a few episodes in when I devised the list.
You get to episode, it
builds.
It's good, and then it becomes like movie quality good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's an arc in the middle where you just feel like you're watching a movie.
Nice. That was actually one of the animes I actually watched in Japan.
Oh, wow.
No subtitles. I was just watching it like, what's happening? What is this anime? This is pretty good. What did she just do?
Once you see the subtitles or the translation, you see how sassy she is.
The manga is really good, too.
I got to check that out.
Yeah.
Definitely have to check that out. My number 7 for me was long title. The Aristocats, Otherworldly Adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far. Now we start my Isekai list. So that one was literally about a guy who dies and comes back as an aristocrat this time. Beautiful anime. Loved it. Funny. Full of Isekai tropes that I love and just overpowered bullshit. Enjoyed it.
That training arc on the island was insane. That was insane. That was like, and then that he ends up like, we're literally, you could see the harem building.
Yes.
Yeah, starting
100%.
to happen. But it's so,
but
it's
I love
way
this
more
relationship
adorable.
with the gods. No, 100%. It was very humbling and just a smooth ride.
Yeah.
If I had to say,
it didn't have the ick factor of like other shows where you're just like,
it wasn't over heavily. I need to fight everything, but it was more of a slice of life isekai, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
It was just very humbling, very cute, very funny.
More comfort.
Here for the whole ride.
Yeah.
Eating delicious sandwiches, feeling good about myself while watching it.
Yep.
We love delicious sandwiches.
I do.
My number 7 was Tengoku Daimakyo.
Yep.
Another Hulu exclusive. Shout out to Hulu. You're doing very good this year.
You enjoyed those.
Or last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprisingly
on
good.
Disney Plus.
If anybody
they had
needs
summertime rendering, which was really good.
They did have summertime rendering.
That was really good.
If you need Hulu, I can always give you my password. I'm
Two
a password sharer.
I'm trying to think. Which one was that?
That was the one where the girl has the job to protect that dude while he gets to heaven.
Yeah, it's a combination of Last of Us and Promised Neverland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
yes.
Gifted children are in this quote unquote orphanage.
Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Definitely only got like a couple episodes in before I went to Japan. Oh, I can't wait to finish that, actually.
He's like, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, 100%.
Now I could watch 5 in a row.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, my number 6. Again, another long title isekai. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unparalleled in this world too.
I watched that one too.
Beautiful isekai. First of all, this is one of the first isekais where I saw it, where it was a parallel world where you can actually go back to, but the effects of everything he done happens in the real world too.
Yeah,
crazy.
That was insane.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's interesting.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch.
And
that
he even brought his magical beast to the real world, and I was like, yes, because, bro, if I ever was isekai and I got to come back, my familiar's coming back with me. Period.
I like it because it almost works like a video game isekai, where it's like you can, but it actually like
you take the VR off,
yeah,
and you still got your same powers.
Yeah, he like comes like it's a it's a weird door in his grandfather's house where he can just go back and forth between the other dimension. I love how there's an entire episode where he becomes kind of like a male model because he's
Yep.
like, yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro.
I think I remember you talking
Loved
about
it.
that.
Yeah.
You definitely have to check it out. It's a different twist on Isekai.
well, they managed to
that's
do the slice of life episodes with the OP powers because they allow him to transition between both worlds.
Yep.
So you've got one storyline working in one world and this storyline working in this world, and like in one episode he wipes out an entire biker gang. Like he just like his little girlfriend is down there and dude just they're like, wait, what are you doing? Dude just jumps out the window. They're like, we're on the third fucking story,
Right,
man.
right.
He just jumps out the
Trying to
window.
explain stuff.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's because, this and that.
I've been working out.
Yeah. But then he takes out an entire biker gang and everybody's like, is this guy even human? Yeah. That was a good
great.
one.
Like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Definitely rewatchable many a times. Hopefully there's going to be a season 2. Can't wait for
That would
it.
be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there definitely will be.
All right.
My number 6 was Zom 100.
Decent. Couldn't finish it. It got real slow towards the last few episodes to me.
The finale just came out over Christmas Day.
Yeah,
I like
the
finale.
final
Did it?
final arc.
I might finish it off just because I've been invested in it. And I loved the first few episodes.
Yeah.
I think I steered away when the samurai chick showed up. I think that was like my...
I get that. I get that.
What is happening now?
Well, it becomes
I
its
get
own
that.
thing at that point.
I
Yeah.
don't think we got enough time with the 3 together for them to add that
Another
fourth
character,
element.
yeah.
Similar,
That was weird.
similar
Yeah.
Frieren, similar family. Like they had like a good pairing system, and sometimes you kind of need that bounce off. And
We're going to
Yeah.
go into that.
I'm just saying that's a good example of that what Jamal is bringing up.
But yeah, so yeah, I can
Hold that thought.
I can definitely understand where you where that, because it did kind of slow down after the shark.
Yeah.
And
It was
seeing
definitely
his
after
boss
the
again.
shark.
At that point,
And
it
then
did
it kind
need a
of
breath.
it
I was
took
like,
yeah.
At that point, it needed a breath.
But the final 3 episodes, though, that kind of like brings it together.
Almost 4 or
it
5
makes it worthwhile.
episodes worth like there. Yeah. It's
So
worth
it was good.
So what did I have? Where are we at?
Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5.
Oh, all right, number 5 again, still in the Isekai realm.
Oh, yeah.
Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement.
Edwin, I remember you liked that one.
Yeah, Jesse.
And did you finish it, Edwin?
Yeah.
I think
This anime
It's
was
insane.
amazingly good. This was one of those animes that answered the questions: what happens when you bring guns into a fantasy world?
Yeah.
Total domination is what happens.
Yeah.
Every time, anytime, every time. Oh my God, it was so great.
There are 50 millimeter guns on those Jeeps.
Dragons
This
meant
dragon's
nothing.
going down.
Dragons meant nothing
Yeah.
to a 50 cal. Let me tell you.
Dragon's like, wait, what the
So-
fuck is going on?
The basis of this is crazy how she even gets there, and I won't spoil any of that wildness. But
That was
it
interesting,
literally
yeah.
is about a girl who loses her entire family and is magically transported into another world where, again, she gets to go back to her world. So she's got the ability to live a little bit here and live a little bit there. And she decides that she needs to save enough money to retire in Japan. So she starts
Oh, sounds like you.
100%. She starts opening up her own little shop in the fantasy world, selling regular convenience store goods to people in a fantasy world, and it is amazingly great. Amazingly great. And again, it's one of those spins on the isekai where she's not overpowered. She has no magical
No.
power. She
That was one
can't
of the
even
best
she
parts
can't
of the
even
show.
throw a punch. Okay?
But she decides to, and this is one of the coolest things. It's like, you know what? She's like, I need to learn how to survive in this world.
Oh,
So she goes to like this private military company. These are military contractors. She's like, they can teach me how to fight,
great.
and she goes to them and they're there teaching her how to use guns and how to use all kinds of
It's
stuff.
almost like Black Lagoon. Holy
yeah,
shit.
essentially, yeah.
no, it is.
And
it is
so-
great.
you have like this little cute like anime where she's like making friends and they're trying to set her up, and you think this is gonna be
full 5.
yeah. And she's like, I got my guns, I got my camo, and they're like, can we buy some of that gear? And she's like, sure. And she's just promoting herself through this. And like at the end, she's just like, this dragon comes along, and like spoilers, absolute spoilers for this, because this was so fucking awesome.
We're like 2 seasons. This is like 2 seasons old. You can spoil.
Nah. You never know what people watch.
She comes in here
That's what we're here for.
to defend like her place. And she's like,
this is my kingdom.
This
now.
is my kingdom now.
I live here.
And she
I'm decapitated now.
Yep.
Almost
And
like
she
Overlord.
tells them,
Okay.
I got this. And they're like, what? She's like, I got this.
It's like they disrespected me.
Yeah.
I'll take care of this.
Make sure nobody's in the courtyard. I got this. And they're like, there's monsters in the courtyard. And she's got like these military jeeps with these guns. And it's like,
yeah,
yep.
bro, it's great. It's great.
The only thing missing were like,
she's like, y'all want to
rocket
kill some
launchers.
monsters? Dude's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay you. Dude's like,
Okay.
okay.
She's like,
Everybody mount up.
yep. So you got these military subcontractors like, where are we going? Like, hey.
Bro, I loved it.
Yeah.
It
That was
entertaining, to say the least. All right. What do you got?
Oh, my number 5 was Buddy Daddies.
Which was amazing.
Okay, that was definitely not one of the anime genres. With guns, I'm guessing, just guns.
No, it was like a slice of life. So you didn't watch Licorice Recall, right? Okay.
Yeah, are you familiar with Man on Fire? The Denzel movie.
Washington movie.
Oh yeah, I'm like, there was an anime name.
No.
Okay, no,
But
Denzel, yeah.
if you're cinema wise, that one's like a close comparison.
It was like
yeah, not for me then.
it was like Spy Family on steroids.
There you go. Spy Family's a better example.
Spy Family with like a Yakuza twist.
Okay, and that's okay.
Well, they're 2 hitmen
Yeah.
who essentially end up with this kid.
They're 2 hitmen who kills this kid's dad, who
Yeah.
was like a Yakuza boss.
That's the first episode. Yeah.
And so they end up taking in the kid because they felt bad.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just stuff happens after that.
And then chaos
And
happens.
it's not.
It's not chaos, but it's like a real weird timed.
It's chaos.
Well,
It's a
with
slice
the
of
humor.
life anime
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they're trying to figure out like, A, do they want to be daddies? B, how are they going to be daddies? And C, it's like they still have jobs to do. They're still assassins.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so they're going out on these missions, and somehow this kid ends up there, and it's just like it's got a little bit of John Wick involved. Like the action,
Yeah.
the action sequences are
decent.
magnificent. No, like they're really like the animation and like the first one is like it's essentially Die Hard. Like they're like flipping over tables and like shooting out windows and like it was phenomenal.
I'll have to add that to my list because I definitely seen the trailer, but I was like, if you don't
See,
have
the trailer
any,
doesn't do it justice.
if there's no fireballs or
You have to
I'm
register.
just
it.
like, nah.
It's the first episode.
I'm definitely a power person. Like I need something
the action, the humor, the animation, the chemistry, it's worth it.
What he said.
I'm like a huge isekai fan. I do the isekai roundup usually on the show, and still, buddy, there are still shows where like they'll still catch my attention,
Yeah.
and be like,
and
yeah,
that's
and that's
me
one of
because
them.
I only watch isekai. Isekai always comes first.
Yeah.
When the genre came out, I knew it was for me.
It was love at first sight.
No,
You're
for
like,
real.
yeah.
Like it was just.
You're like, they made this for me.
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
And then another one came out, and then another one. I was like, bro,
Oh yeah, me and Jack have
I'm
been
here.
doing this for 3 years now, and like, yeah.
it's just isekai.
Between Jesse, Edwin, and Alberto, I don't think there's an isekai out there that hasn't been watched this year.
I can believe it.
I'm 100% certain of
Yeah,
this.
I only scratched the surface.
I
I'm
always
100%
watch
certain of
every
this.
isekai that comes out every season, even if they're the heiress who becomes the villainous.
even if they're trash. And Edwin
like-
will watch them, and he'll be like, this was trash.
I'm OP.
But I had to
my
watch
level.
it.
I'm OP in the dungeon, and my level's still 1. Trash, but I still watched it.
Yeah.
It
Same.
was trash. It was
Yeah.
trash.
Well, there was some where I watched it just for the podcast, and I'm like, Yeah.
And we're done.
Yeah.
All right, what number are we at, guys?
4.
Number 4.
Ooh, number 4. Again, we're at this top last 4. This one I've actually watched twice this year already. So,
Wow.
Farming Life in Another World. High
watched
five
that
right
one.
there, baby.
The tarot card. He had the tarot card.
Yeah, he.
Oh,
That one
oh,
was. That one
yes!
was. Yeah.
That's slow burn for you, Edwin.
I watched it. I watched all of it.
I loved it.
It was very different. Like, you're like,
Yes.
okay, where are we going to go with this?
And that's what I loved about it because and when you watch as much isekai as we do, you need something different.
Yeah. Because it
And
starts
if you're
to
not
where.
different,
No.
then I'm like,
What are you doing? Yeah.
I can just go back.
Yeah. I can go back to my favorites and
the
rewatch
fact that
those.
This
Yeah.
was just different.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it so much, and it was funny. Again, another slice of life. He wasn't taking down giant enemies,
No.
but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
He was OP, but it was hilarious because he didn't even know he was OP.
No. Yeah. Everybody's like, wait, do you know what you're doing? It's
And
like, yeah.
Yeah, and the protagonist actually got the chick. And
Yeah,
they
you
had
didn't
a
have to
baby.
worry about that. And you
They
didn't have
had
to
a
like,
whole
yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
He fight a protagonist in an isekai. Got it.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, Jack
that
and
is
his
a change of
chilling in the
pace.
30s.
Well, that one's adventure. I was humbled with that one.
So yeah, that's definitely my number 4. And again, I've watched it twice already. I'm probably going to continue rewatching it.
Is there
because
going to be
it
a
was
season
amazing.
2?
I'm sure there will be.
hope so.
I'm sure there will be.
I did hear. This is one of the ones I'm probably gonna get the manga for because I heard it's completely different.
Oh, wow.
And I'm actually looking forward to
Seeing a
actually
different,
reading this.
Perspective, yeah.
Yeah, because it hits to my second genre, which is my second favorite, which is a little bit nutty. So the manga is gonna have the fan service that the anime didn't have.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because
Yeah.
apparently the vampire wasn't the only one he got pregnant.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm looking forward to that. Like, he had to turn down some elves and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Well, I kind of figured eventually he would father the entire nation, but,
so no spoilers, but apparently the manga.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it's not the same. They definitely
Yeah.
kind of lightweighted it for television.
Oh, yeah.
But
They have
could
to.
have been this year's, fan service deliverers.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have one this year.
No, we really didn't.
There was no fan service.
I mean, the ones
No
that were.
Good.
There was none that
nothing.
ran
no
that.
Peter
like,
Gill. No.
There
no
was.
redo of a healer.
I'm fine with that.
Nothing.
I'm not a fan
with the
service guy.
isekai itself.
Yes.
Okay.
No, not just isekai. Just period.
In general, yeah.
There was
Yeah.
nothing.
I haven't seen a lot.
No.
there.
There's jokes. There's like
Joe-
He's not a
but I'm
bad-
talking about,
No,
like,
no. He
the
doesn't
actual
want
anime
jokes.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing. There was
Yeah.
nothing of Peter.
There's
Gill,
nothing that
no
walked.
redo of a healer. No. What was the other ones?
Well, there was
called?
nothing that walked that middle ground. Like there was nothing where it was like you're watching this and all of a sudden there's some fan service.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is that
Zero.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zero.
There wasn't anything really
Which
that I
was
could call
surprising.
to. It was surprising.
Everything this year you could watch on the TV in the family room.
Well, there was the dog,
Like, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
there was the dog one that was kind of like pushing.
Was that this year or last year?
Was it this year? Was it
I
last
thought
year?
That was last year.
It could have been.
I know what you're talking about. The dog. He
Yeah.
transformed into a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only like 6 episodes long, so I'm pretty sure that was last year, but I could be mistaken. And I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if that was it, that's pretty lame.
Yeah, there wasn't much. It's kind of like gone by the
And
wayside.
that was canceled.
Yeah.
It didn't even finish.
Good.
Yeah, fuck
Jamal.
All right.
Jamal's
We're-
not a fan.
So
I don't
as
like
this
the
hate
fan
for
service.
dogs, on to number 3.
My number 4 was Blue Lock. Continue.
Oh, Blue Lock. Blue Lock was the only sports anime I think I've ever watched.
That was the first one I've watched.
Yeah, because it was fucking amazing.
Kyle like badgered me into watching it because he always talked about it, and I was like, dude, I'm sick of you talking about
Bro,
this. So I watched
the
it.
Blue Lock
It
got
was
me
very good.
on episode 1.
Yeah,
On
it's
episode
really good.
1, I was like, I'm watching a sports anime.
and I don't even like
it.
soccer. I don't even like soccer.
I'm not even a soccer fan.
That is it's a really
so
good
the
anime.
fact that they got me on a sports anime, which I don't watch, a sport that I don't even like, bro, this is crazy. And no one has special powers?
No.
Wow.
It was really good.
I watched one about a boys tennis team that I'm like, why am I watching this?
What is that called? Prince of Tennis?
No, it's
That was a while
something
ago.
about the stars, right? I can't remember, but
It was a while ago. Yeah.
It was a while ago,
Yeah.
but I'm like, why am I watching this? I'm like, I'm like, it was there. I started watching this, and I'm like, this is really good because it was more about the lives of the characters than it was about them actually playing the sport. But you get so involved. Like one guy, he's like having trouble with his mom. The main guy, like he's got an abusive dad. And so
It was anime.
Oh yeah, like
Anime is just country songs with.
For weeps.
My parents died, my dog died, my sister was killed, and I got hit by a truck.
and got sent to another world.
I gotta hear him, y'all.
Woo! Oh god, dog. Okay,
Number 3.
number 3.
Now we're in top 3 territory.
Woo! All right, number 3 is the season 2, and it was by far one of the most wholesome animes I've ever watched. Top 3, baby. All right, this one is a season 2, but it's one of my favorite animes. Feel good. By the Grace of the Gods.
Everyone likes this show too.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the simplicity of this show. The feel good slice of life comfort that I get from watching this, it just gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling all over. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It is great. It is kawaii all around. But By the Grace of the Gods, season 2 is definitely one of my, and I was hoping that it was going to do a season 2. So when it came out in 2023, I was ecstatic that I get to continue this journey. All right. This is literally about a guy who was reincarnated. He was literally a business guy, did the whole truck isekai, I believe. And the big difference is there's no battles, no huge battles. He's just reincarnated 30-year-old guy as a child, and he's just trying to live the life and find the family that he never had. And it's quite beautiful, actually. So yeah, that definitely my number 3.
That was 3.
Love the series completely.
It's a great show.
Rewatched it several times. Plus, I love a good slime.
You do.
I love anything that involves slimes. They're just good for your health.
I love watching him.
Good for your fantasy health.
I love watching the slimes evolve. How he always, he keeps finding new ways. No.
No, actually.
Yeah, no.
No, this is actually season 2 I'm talking about.
Oh,
season 1
I
came
thought you were
out.
talking about a new show. My mistake.
No,
I think it
yeah.
was
This is Grace of the Gods.
2019.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah, it was a while back for season 1. And again, he literally gets the power to become a tamer, but he just specializes in taming slimes.
Yes.
And the slimes that he evolves have never been seen in the world.
No. Yeah.
So he's literally recreating the slime, the hierarchy
Well, he's
of slimes,
expanding their
bro.
evolution within the world.
100%. Even the gods that created the slimes are like, bro, we didn't know you could do that. And it's great. It's great. And the fact that he ends up just owning a laundromat as the climactic end is just so great. He doesn't defeat a demon king. He doesn't go on to marry the princess. He opens a laundromat.
It falls under that subgenre of like isekai that you could just call I became a business owner in another world. Yeah.
100%. Yep. And I think that's why I love this so much. But I would say that this one was definitely more heartfelt.
Yeah.
More, 100% more slice of life. And definitely made me tear up a couple of times, honestly.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie. Yeah. When he talked about his mom not being home, I almost shit myself in tears. It was just sad. So to see him come from that to maintaining and making his own family. I actually felt a lot of that because I made my own family. I made my sisters and my aunties, and I got like 3 different moms. So when you make your own family because you were alone, that resonates with me a lot. And that's what he did. He stayed, even when he was isekai, he literally was alone for I think 4 or 3 years maybe. So he literally stayed in this world.
Yeah, he was out in the forest on his own.
On his own, before he even met anyone. Number 3, by the grace of the gods.
Speaking of slimes, my number 3 was campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill.
My personal number 6.
That was my number 3.
That show was amazing.
I think that might have been your number 3 too, Edwin.
Yeah, it was pretty high up there.
That one.
Yeah, it was pretty high up there. That one was, man, that was such a good show.
You get the
That's
slimes.
hilarious.
You get the cooking.
That's
you get
Will be your number.
You ready for my number 2?
your number 2.
Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill.
Well, you guys you're bringing up a good show.
Yeah.
Bro, first of all, let's combine isekai with food and a dog.
Oh, Fenrir! The relationship between him and Fenrir was so funny.
It's
It
hilarious.
was and the slime.
And the slime.
Pew.
Yeah.
Pew was the shit. He wants to destroy. I want to battle.
Or what's the
Really?
Japanese term for uncle again?
Huh?
What's the Japanese term for uncle?
Oh, I
again?
don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that was
yes.
hilarious.
Uncle Fernet.
Yeah. When he
Bro.
I
starts
want to go pew
talking,
pew.
when he starts talking, it was hilarious.
It was the greatest.
And dude is like, "Oh, my little baby is a battle junkie."
Yeah.
And you know me, Jamaal. You see
Yeah.
me with my dog.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Tell
don't.
me the difference between me and my dog and him and his slime.
There's no difference.
Yeah. So you dote a lot.
Oh yeah.
yes.
Every day.
He
I have a
loves that-
dog.
he
I
loves
call
that
my
dog.
dog's name is Prince Charming.
He's not charming.
He's beautiful. He's a Cocker Spaniel.
Jamal's not a fan.
He's a Cocker Spaniel, and he's a purebred, and he's beautiful. His entire name, if you're all listening, is Prince Charming Ezekiel Wilder. And he is the most beautiful children
He's the most beautiful children.
who ever existed in puppy lists. He's my forever fur baby. So, yes.
Jamal's
So-
like, can't.
So, his relationship with Ferner and the amount of food that he had to feed him,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
I resonated with that
You're like-
shit.
you're
I'm
like,
hungry, Daddy. Fuck.
you're like, I gotta feed you again.
No, 100%.
What?
So,
But
number...
Fenrir's different because he'll be like, I'm hungry, and then he'll go destroy
An entire
Yeah.
ecosystem
and he's
for
like,
lunch.
here,
Well,
make this for
it's
me.
just like a dog or a cat that will bring you dead things.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a gift for me? What? Okay.
And he's like, no, yes, it is.
Yeah.
I want meat.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't know what to do with all of this.
Hey, and I'm going to be honest, when the first episode, even when he got his skill, I look like the king. What?
Yeah.
What the hell are you going to do with this?
Yeah.
And then as the anime progressed, I'm like, bro, you have the greatest skill
Ever.
that Isekai could ever want.
Yep.
The greatest.
You don't
Bro,
have to be a vending
If
machine.
you had 100%. Like, I was like, bro, if you had the
You got the
convenience
whole
store
store.
in New York, you could have pistols and knives. If you were a convenience store from Texas,
A Buc-ee's.
ooh, you
Yeah.
get a bazooka.
You get yourself a Buc-ee's and you're set.
100%. You're in New York, we can sell weed. I'm selling weed to everybody.
Right.
I'm about to introduce some real fantasy.
Some real transportation.
But
There you go.
But what I loved about it was the relationship with him and his pets.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did want to be involved in local politics,
Right.
in any of the kingdoms, in any of the wars. It was just him.
He ran. That man ran.
ran.
He
from
ran.
it.
He took off. He was like, bro, I know right now y'all don't even want to deal with me. So I'm going to just jet.
Well, he's like, this is some shady shit. Some shady shit. These people are. I'm actually rewatching it. And dude's like,
Right?
yeah, dude's
It's
like,
great.
that's way too much jewelry. And that king is way too fat for this to be, a nation in trouble.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
like,
do I really
I'm
want to
out.
stay here?
Yep.
nothing. And even when he did, it was like, first of all, he's like, I don't even know who this is. The wolf, like, Frieren, like, bro, you've been feeding me. I'm your partner. Me.
Yeah.
Who? You want to come in the kingdom? Do I know you? Officer. No, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It was literally like, he's just a wolf? Dire wolf? I raised a dire wolf. I tamed. What do you guys tame around here? That's what I got. That's who he is. No, 100%. Lying his ass off the entire time.
Well, one of my favorite scenes is when like he's like, I'm gonna make a contract with you, and dude's like, no, and he's like, what?
No, for real.
I'm gonna make a contract
All
with
the people
you.
hide like,
They're like,
Just say yes. Just say yes.
you better do it.
Yep. It's like this
Take
is not,
him.
Yep. This is not an offer you can refuse.
My favorite part is when Frieren started feeling like an actual animal.
After he got the badge?
He got jealous of the slime.
Yeah.
Because he would literally be like, my baby, come in and eat this food. And Frieren would be like, fuck about me, bro.
Yeah. He's like, you don't treat me like that.
I don't get pets and love and happiness. Well, maybe. And that shit just took me out because I'm like, oh, look at him wanting to be
The
loved
jealousy
and petted.
was like, yeah.
He just wanted to be petted.
He's like,
You are the most extreme animal out here, and you just want a pet.
the love and attention, yeah.
That's all he wanted. And it was just the chemistry between those two will forever keep me giggling.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
I loved it.
It's funny. It's very funny, but it's touching at the same time.
It is. That's why they ended up as number 2.
That's a good number 2.
All right.
My number 2 is Attack on Titan.
It's the only one so far we had all 4 in our same top 10.
Nice. Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's how good it was. Yeah, that's
Because
an
Demon
testament.
Slayer was in their honorable mentions. Like, yeah, it's that sporadic.
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't heartfelt.
Yeah, I think
you said your top 2 was Attack on Titan.
Titan was my 2.
Final season or
The final.
one?
I combined both of them because they both were 2023.
Okay.
But the final more.
The final wave.
I was just
motion.
disappointed because I felt like it would have been better served as a movie.
Oh, yeah. They missed the boat. They should have done it.
It should have been a movie. It felt too epic to be limited to the Crunchyroll
But
release.
it gave that streaming boost for Crunchyroll and all that. That's just how it is.
It broke Crunchyroll.
Now, before I give you my top 1, honorable mention for number 1 spot, The Great Cleric.
Ooh.
I did enjoy that one.
That one was
I think it was one of my honorable
pleasure
mentions.
ones.
Yeah.
I enjoyed The Great
I think that was the
Cleric
Alberto one
so
as well.
much
Mm-hmm.
because, 1, isekai. 2, not overpowered, actually just being a healer.
Yeah, and
That meant so much to me.
it's such a simple, like, it's becoming like its own isekai, like a simple isekai. You're like you're tracing your steps isekai. Like, this is a good genre isekai.
100%. Yeah, I love what they did with it. I loved how they portrayed the character. I loved the protagonist. I love the side characters. I love the story. I love the politics. Everything about it just resonated as a great show for honorable mention. It was a great isekai, strong isekai, and really hope for season 2 and 3 if possible. Because it just played with my heart.
Well, I love the fact that he actually changes over the course of the isekai.
Yes.
Because you don't see that a lot.
No.
Usually it's just like they become like...
OP and that's it.
They become OP and they become Kirito, and then that's the end of it. That's the wrap. They get the jacket, they're done. You're just going to harem build from there.
Yep.
But in this one, like, they actually... It's about his growth and his change over the course of the show.
And it wasn't easy.
And it wasn't easy at all. Like, they put him through shit constantly. And they had weird names for him and stuff. And, like, he drank that Substance X and stuff.
Oh, the Substance X was great. What do they call him? The monarchist zombie?
Yeah.
And, this show really needs a season 2. It really needs to be completed in its entirety.
You want to see where he goes next. It's one of those few ones where it's like, I really genuinely want to see where this guy goes next and how they'll change him from there.
Yes.
Because it's like, not only does he change, like, he actually evolves and grows over the course of the show, but he also, his appearance changes over the course of the show.
It's true. This is one of the few shows where he doesn't put on armor and just changes, but his hair grows. He gets taller. He gets more muscular.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. And you're just like, I feel like I've grown with him. And, and they don't do it in such a way where you feel like it's rushed.
No.
But it's definitely thought out and time sensitive.
Well, they focus on the important parts. And then the gaps where they do skip, it's like you can see that he's changed over the course of that gap. He doesn't look like the same exact character.
Exactly.
He looks like a different character.
He looks like he grown up.
Yeah.
He looks like an adult. He looks like he went from a teenager to an adult.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, because you don't see that a lot. Because they want to spend so much time. Yeah, they want to spend, like, you might see a jump in, like, they might jump from, like, being a baby to, like, a 5-year-old and then a 10-year-old.
Or a 13-year-old and stop at 15 and call it a day.
Right. But those time gaps never really show the growth that they've gone through.
They just...
And this one really did. This one, like...
showed the work he was doing, the people he met.
What he was... The work areas, he was putting in. Yeah.
All of that. And I enjoyed that so much.
In the growth area and his change, it reminded me a little bit of Ascendance of a Bookworm.
Fiery Pale.
In that,
Ascendance of a Bookworm was so magnificent. We need to talk about that.
We're definitely... So I know you guys have mentioned the Great Cleric a number of times.
I think you would like it, Jamaal.
Is that something that you think is worthy of the deep dive episode?
No. It's what I mean with simple is that you get what you came for, and that's it. And it's one of those things where it's like going to like a good restaurant, and you're just getting the basics.
If I had to deep dive, I would do Undead Unluck.
Yeah,
because there's so much there.
And there or Golden Cameo,
so much there.
And we could do a deep dive of that.
Or Golden Kami. You can't deep dive enough into that.
That's true.
Exactly.
In my opinion, you can never talk enough about this sleeper anime that no one knows about. Yeah. Period. You didn't even know about it.
Are you going to watch the live action?
He didn't even know. I think you just surprised him.
They're doing a live action Golden Kamuy.
That might be decent.
I mean, they can pull it off.
I'll give it 30 minutes. I'm serious.
It's the 3-episode rule condensed. 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah, the feel.
You got 30 minutes. I can tell in 30 minutes of a movie whether you're gonna be shit or not. Let's be real. Yeah. That's the whole episode. You can't get me an episode. You're on your own. Yu Hakusho left me in the dust. Oh, see you later.
Bye.
So we'll do that. You know what? I'll write those down. Undead Unluck and
I do believe that Undead Unluck has so much more to offer than what people see on the surface of it.
We could do a deep dive of that. On Jesse's return, we're going to do a deep dive of Undead. Because we're trying to get back into the deep dives. So if we have ideas and stuff that people want to do, definitely let us know and we'll do it.
It's like a deep dive.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Number 1. And I know what you guys are thinking. Isekai. It's not an isekai. It is Friends Beyond Journeys.
Frieren Beyond Journeys in.
That's right. It's number 1 on my list. This anime was by far one of the most beautiful animated, beautifully scripted, beautifully directed, amazing story, amazing heart, most fantastic use of magic.
I agree.
That I have ever seen. It put magic in a real state.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can launch some fucking magic missiles, but you can't pull out an entire boat in the harbor. Love it. I love the difference. Every spell did something. And nothing was OP about any of the magic. The story had you feeling like, bro, first of all, the story was about someone who was left behind. It was about...
In a sense.
No, it's like... No, see, the thing is...
It was about someone left behind and the growth that they had to deal with to understand that they weren't alone in the world.
It's about the burden of immortality. Because everybody wants to be immortal, but then you see this person and how they're burdened with, where it's like, everybody's like, yeah, I want to be immortal, I want to live forever. And then you see her perspective of it, where it's like, I can't form bonds with people because what this 10-year journey that seemed like a long time for you all. And I think she made a comment to Eisen in one episode. She's like, that wasn't even 1/100th of my life.
100%.
And it was such a big thing for them. And so you got these people that's trying to teach her, like, and in that first episode when Himmel passes and you see the emotion come out of her and she's like, I just wish I got to know him more.
And on that,
I think part of it is immortality, but I think part of it too is that sometimes when we're in something, we don't realize how important it is until after the fact. And I think that like, yeah, he brought her back out into the world, kind of the world that she had given up on. And he's like, no, I'm going to bring you back out in the world. And as she goes on this journey, I think she's realizing how important he was to her and the things that she missed because she had that perspective of like, this is, yeah.
bro.
And it's like, that's what makes this show so strong, because it's like, that's like, she's going on this journey with these new people, but I don't want to say that they're triggering like these memories or like, but they're making her realize the importance of those moments in the past because she's seeing them play out here. And it's that context, it's the context of this new experience that's making her reflect on the old experience, that's giving her kind of like this sense of fulfillment and realization of like how important those memories and experiences were to her, where she hasn't had that before.
100%. To me, I get what you're saying, but it's not a story of immortality. It's a story of finding oneself. Period. She has lived this life. And if you notice that after the first episode, it's no longer after the Demon King died, it's after Himmel. Because she doesn't start experiencing her life until after he dies.
Yes.
I caught that and I understood what they were saying. Like, sometimes you lose someone that has such an impact on you that you have no choice but to change, but to carry on and continue on. And she was hurt. She literally was hurt after that death. And she didn't realize how hurt she was. And everything after that became the story.
I agree.
Of her healing.
I agree.
To me, personally. Everything after, and I felt that because we've all lost someone who made us wake up and realize that we could be doing more. We could be enjoying life more. We could be helping more.
You could be living life.
We could be living instead of just
existing.
Participating.
Yeah.
She was participating into Himmel.
See, and that's I think we're on the same track here.
That she was participating. I think that she was just existing until he like grabbed her hand.
Participating. That's what I mean.
By her own admission, she was very apathetic about life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think we're in the same track here, and we're going the same direction. But I think like the thing. So when I say like the burden of immortality, like
was that the apathy that she had picked up?
It forced her to be apathetic because she couldn't form these bonds with people. She actively didn't perform these bonds with people because they would pass. So then she meets her flame, the mage that she learns from, and it's like there was a bond there, but it didn't stick with her. It was like, okay, she made me a better mage.
She didn't know what love was.
But she didn't know what love was.
She didn't know. She didn't understand that she was in love with him.
She did.
In my opinion, she was in love with him.
And I think that unfolds throughout the story.
Yeah.
And I think 100%. That's what the death was for her. Because after that, she's like, she cries and she's like, I wish I got to know him more. And then after that, she goes and she specifically says, I want to learn more about humans. Before she didn't, because she's like, they're going to die. Like, and it's just going to keep moving for me. It
was not worth her time.
But it wasn't worth her time. And that's where that immortality comes from. It's like, it's not worth my time. But when she formed that bond with Himmel and the way that he made her feel, because he was clearly in love with her too, and he understood her burden, and he was the one that really, they had that group and they all contributed.
So great. Show was so great.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
so many layers.
Had that thing for like
it was a wedding cake. This show was a wedding cake. It had a topper, it had the midsection, and then you cut it open, and you were like, "This is even more great."
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's so casual
Yeah.
It's so laid back that you don't like even realize.
That you're caught up in their relationship.
Yeah, like you're like all of this is playing out, and it's almost at her pacing.
Right.
It has this really
Exactly.
calm
Yes.
pacing, but there's so much emotion in each scene and each reaction and each memory. It's like everybody's just sitting around reminiscing about. They're walking, but you feel like you're just sitting with them, reminiscing about the adventure that they had. And as like you said, it's like just being peeled back little by little, and how these the memories of the current trip and the memories of the previous adventure are kind of like slowly but surely converging toward like a climax at some point. Yeah.
And that's because, and it's all based on that experience. Because I just started rewatching the first few episodes again, and after Himmel passes, like when she meets up with Hyder, and he's dying, and he tricks her into training Fern with the Grimoire, and he's like, no, you need to take on an apprentice, just do me this favor. And then she meets up with Eisen, and it flashes back to a part when Eisen's like, well, she's like, I'm going to go off on my journey and learn humans or whatever. And he's like, are you going to take on an apprentice? And she's like, no, I mean, she's still in that phase where it's like, no. And then he's like, well, why? And she's like, well, you need somebody to talk to. You need these people to continue on this journey
You need
with
to socialize.
you. You need to
The
socialize.
growth. Yeah.
And she's just like, nah, I'm cool. But then later on, you see that she's starting to
Realize
after
the
Himmel,
value.
and she realized the value after Himmel. It's opening her up to this. It's like,
And like I
okay.
said, that you don't realize what you have
Yes.
until you lost it. And she realized that. And like I said, that really relates to pretty much everyone who's ever lost someone. When you realize that moment of, I can do better. I can relate better to people. You start reaching out more. You send a better text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've all done it. She's done, that was her most human aspect,
Yes.
so to speak. She literally seems like she's learning how to be more human.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree.
100%.
Yeah.
And she's learning that, like,
And I don't think not only, and I know like specifically what it means to be human, but what it means to be a person and to engage with other people, like on a fundamental level, like to actually like care and to like engage and to like just be of the world instead of like, to be a part of it.
And Fern is
To risk-
definitely the
To
biggest
risk
part.
that too.
yes.
Yeah.
Fern is definitely the biggest part of helping her stay anchored.
Yes. Absolutely.
100%.
Well, there was a point
To
where
be anchored in the moment
in the
and in the
moment.
present, because
Her
she can
moments
get
are
lost.
something totally different
Different,
than ours.
yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, how did she keep her anchored in a moment when a moment to us is a moment, but to her it's a second?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a drop in the bucket in her
That's
life.
it. That
you
is
know?
it. And I love how she's like, yeah, we'll stay here for 6 months or a year. And Fred's like,
We'll be here a week.
a week.
Yes.
You got a week, bro. Calm down.
And she starts calling. She's like, you act like my mother. And Fern is like, I'm not your mother, but she's like, I had to wake you up. I gotta get you dressed. I gotta feed you. I gotta
I
make
love
sure
it.
you're not spending
I
frivolous money over
absolutely
here.
love it.
And it's just like, and Fern is like 16, but she has to baby this like 1,000-year-old elf
Yeah.
because she's just like,
So juvenile.
yeah. She's like,
And
well,
that
I would
shows-
sleep in when I was by myself. I slept in the noon.
That shows how she ages.
Yeah.
That shows that even though she's over, like, I would say about 2,000 years
She's
old,
over 1,000.
Yeah.
it does not matter because she's still not getting up for the sunrise.
She's not. She's not.
She's like, I'm not doing this.
She's not doing it.
It's not worth
Speaking of
it.
which, she woke up and just decimated an entire demon flower in less than 3 seconds of cognitive.
Dude.
Bro!
Yep.
She was like, just wake me up.
She was.
Bro,
Yes.
She was like a husband at
yes.
night.
Yeah.
Is there a burglar? Just wake me up.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop,
She was
pop.
like-
Did you just shoot 9 burglars?
Yep.
She
You
said,
didn't even get out the bed.
I know I'm going to fall asleep. And he's like, I can't wake you up from my power isn't that
Like
strong.
5 seconds.
And
That
she's
was
like,
legit.
he's like, I got
Don't
5
worry.
seconds. She's like, I just need 3.
He was like,
Just
legit,
need
wake
3.
me when we get there.
I just need 3.
Mama's
Give me
gonna
enough.
take care of it.
And that
I'll
was-
pay for the food. Just wake me when we get
Yes.
And that was such a good moment because Sign has to decide whether or not, like, he's like,
trust.
do I trust
Yes.
her? Because if I don't, she could destroy the whole village.
Yeah.
And he decides, like, I'm gonna trust her. She said to trust her. I'm gonna trust her.
Everyone
And
else
it
trust
pays
her.
off. Yeah.
Let's get a trust thing. Trust fall. Choo-choo-choo.
Yep.
Oh,
And she gets up, boom, and
Yeah.
it's over.
bro.
It's
We have to
over.
talk about the battle scenes
Oh yeah.
in this show because it's like, so you have a show.
Frieren, don't play.
No, you have a show that is essentially like the world's greatest comfort anime, right?
Yeah.
And then you add
But
in,
then there's moments where you're just like, it flips the switch, and you're just like, what the fuck am I watching? Because it's on par with any other
Yeah.
action show that I've ever seen.
I
And
love
I
the
think it
demons.
needs it.
Oh yeah,
I love the demons.
Yeah.
I loved how the demons were portrayed. I love
Yes.
how they acted.
Absolutely. I agree.
Was smitten
agree.
by these demons. Like, these are real demons. I
Yeah.
would appreciate these demons in my life.
yeah. Well, it gives this show like these stakes where you're just like, yeah, these people could die.
Yeah.
Yep.
These people could legit die. Like, there's no, like, these people lived to old age and they died, and that's the way they passed away. But, like,
No
you
guarantee
can,
on
no,
y'all.
the fear is there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these people could, if somebody died,
And
like,
they
if,
did it right.
yeah.
Because
If,
you were like, please don't kill Frieren.
Yes. Yes.
When
they
there's
first
that,
go-
like, wait, is
yeah.
Stark dead? Is that it for Stark? Are we not going to see it? And then I think it's genius to have Sign leave the group because now you know
That
that
hurt my
characters
heart.
can leave.
That hurt my heart.
Yeah, but now you know.
And now I'm like waiting
Yeah.
for the next episode at the time this is being recorded.
Yeah.
There's no episode 18?
18.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, we fit 17 just came out yesterday.
Yeah. So you're like, but you're sitting there and you're like, he just left. You've grown to like this character. He's like become important. Now he's going stepping away. He might show up later, and that's one of the cool things about a longer show because you might see him later.
Yeah.
But you might not.
And I'm
And
like,
we're going to
you
get
know?
time to flesh this
We-
out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we see both of them and the Gorilla Warrior.
Yeah.
Because first of all, where'd you get the name Gorilla from in the fantasy world? We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to move past it. Okay. Didn't see one gorilla. Did you see a gorilla?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right.
They're there
So-
somewhere. Yeah.
So the small
Yeah.
village boy
we're just gonna
knows
say
about gorillas.
It was a translation issue.
yeah.
What the hell could you translate it to?
I don't know. I'm trying to be
It's
nice.
a gorilla.
And that's one of the cool things about this show too. It's like they create characters even briefly that you want to see again.
Yes.
Like the priest the random priest that they met in the thing. It's like you want to see that guy again. And then he pops up as like, oh, he's like this ancient hero because he's an elf and he's been around for thousands of
Oh
years.
my god, we
Yes,
always
you know?
know his
yes.
story.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we can do a spin-off.
And
Yeah.
he's looking at her like, there's more of us?
Bro.
Because
Yeah.
Speaking of which, y'all brought that up, and it's about to get weird. What do you think the pregnancy time of an elf is in that universe? I'm like, bro, is it over a year? Because remember, they said they don't mate too much
Right.
because they all
Because
they're
they-
doing
they-
their own thing, and they only
they
have,
live so
So
long.
how long is an elf's incubation for pregnancy? And I just took it way left, and I don't even care.
If it's like 9 months for a human, I would think it's definitely got to be longer than that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They doing it.
I'm thinking
Because they're
I'm thinking
really-
3 I'm thinking 3 to 5 years.
I am thinking the same.
Yeah.
So you got an elf wife who's pregnant for 3 to 5 years. Good luck, bro. That's why elves don't get pregnant.
This is
You
a good
gotta
point.
go get the milk every night for 3 to 5 years.
This is a good
3 to
point.
5 years of cravings.
And then how long are they like small?
How long are they in labor?
Oh, I don't
They're in labor for months. They're doing whole seasons.
Well, I watched a show where I watched this show about witches where they didn't even like they just grew from a tree.
Yeah.
So,
So that's
yeah,
why I'm wondering. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully, but if that was the case, they wouldn't talk about finding a mate.
yeah, true.
Right. But that's assuming that, like, the elf is getting pregnant by another elf. Like, what if Himmel got
That's
pregnant?
a whole nother question.
Would the incubation be as long? Because
That would
a
be
half breed.
that would be a half breed, and it would be like
Are they even doing a half breed?
Um,
Is it even
right?
Is it even an option
That's the question.
to race mix in this universe? We know in other universes
know.
there's tons of
well that happens
half-breed elves.
in Faraway Paladin.
Yeah.
Like his sidekick is like
And exactly. So I'm not
It's a
saying it's not
half-breed elf.
possible, but
Yeah.
is it possible
Right.
in this reality?
And what would their lifespan be?
It would definitely have to be
Somewhere in the
less.
It would definitely be half.
So would it be like along where the Eisen's dwarves are, where they're
But
a few hundred years?
you brought up a good point. How long would that baby be a baby?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for elves not to have relationships, how long would they actually keep said baby?
How long would they care?
Well, that goes back to like the village and like
And the fact that she had a village, but we haven't seen any tell signs of any other elf village.
Yeah, because
She's wandered the world for 1,000
because the
years.
demons destroyed
She
her
hasn't seen it,
village.
yeah.
And there's not been another elf village.
And that was the surprising thing when he saw her, because he was like,
yeah,
I
and
didn't
even
know we
he
had-"
did. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's really weird also.
because there's fewer and fewer of them. Yeah.
So,
So
you would think
there was only one elf
you
village?
would think that they would be like, okay, maybe we should try to repopulate, but they're just like,
Yeah, they are definitely not
Well,
the
I think
elves.
that's part of,
but that's
like-
the apathy and the
Yeah.
burden of that immortality.
And I think that's part of the journey.
Yeah. So Jack, what are your thoughts on the show and what you've seen of it thus far?
All I can say, and this is the only thing I'm going to say.
No.
No. We need
No,
we need your opinion. That's why we asked.
This is the number one ranked show ever on myanimelist.com. Number one.
Really?
9.17.
Yeah, it definitely reached number one recently. It overtook Brotherhood.
I can't do it justice with a review alone, but I will say this: the first episode is a fucking movie. Just watch the first episode,
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
and you don't even have to watch the rest of the show.
If you watch that, you're going to want to watch the rest
Did
of
you
the show.
picture if this would have been a movie?
Oh, it would have been
to be fair,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, it has that production quality.
Well, it's by Madhouse, and that's like one of Jack's favorite anime movie
they
companies.
did Trigun as well, or
Perfect
the
Blue?
original Trigun. Yeah.
Well, they did Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue as well. Yeah. So it's one of those things where the premiere itself, like that's why I initially got a boost. I originally thought it was because of that. It was a 3-episode debut. The first episode is like the denouement of Return of the King from Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and it's the journey after, and you get that sense. It's like a bittersweet. It's one of the rarest satisfying feelings in literature, and you name it, all combined.
Seeing the completion right up top.
Yeah, and that's what confused me when I first watched it, because I'm like, did I miss a whole series?
There was
It feels
another
like-
anime
It
like
feels
that.
like you missed,
Yeah, I felt like I
was
missed
that
a
called?
series.
but yeah, it also feels
But-
like you
Where it
already.
takes place after.
Yeah, there was another anime like that where they
There's a
start
few.
with an H.
There's a few.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but it definitely took place after the Demon King was gone.
Yeah.
Even with
Well, there's a
like,
lot
the
of,
name,
like-
yeah,
yeah.
It even with the name, I just assumed that there was a Frieren show before Beyond Journey's End.
Okay, yeah, because
But
it's a
After
consolidated
after the first couple episodes,
You realize this
I
is the premise
realized,
of the show.
oh, that's what this show is.
Yeah.
And once you get into it, you realize, oh, okay, this show isn't about the journey at all.
no.
It's about something different. But the
No,
journey,
it's about the journey,
but the
not
journey, but the
mission.
journey, yeah, the journey isn't what you think it is. It's not
Yeah.
the mission. The
It's
journey is
just
her
literally-
journey. Then it's like her journey, how that journey has affected her journey moving forward.
I think
mean,
it's
there's
the
a-
journey of
yeah.
her becoming whole.
Yeah,
I think that's what the title is. Her becoming an entire person.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, yeah, and reflecting on the importance of reflecting her realizing the importance of her first journey.
yeah.
The actual yeah.
Oh yeah. That for that 10 years, that 1/100, and like
Because she lived
Yeah.
1,000 years, but
Yes.
her memories, that one moment in
Yeah.
time is where she always seems to reflect to.
Well, whether we always have, I think in everybody's life we have like those periods of time where it's just like so
This
much
is-
happens.
This is who I
Yeah.
became, who I am.
yeah, and
They-
you can
yeah.
tell.
Right. Again, because I'm not going to agree with that because I'm ex-military.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me who I was, I will tell you a veteran. And we're not going to tell you a high school student. I'm not going to tell you a middle school student.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you a father. I'm going to tell you I was a veteran. Because that was that point in my life where I was designated who I am, who I felt I should be. And that's what she's doing. She's figuring out who I am. As long as she's lived, she hasn't lived.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think she'll say that.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a curious energy about this show, and it goes to that question, like how she views the world itself after the Demon King's death, or before that even, because she hates demons. There's definitely like hatred and anger and all that, but during their free time, she just collects the most random spells imaginable. How to, I forgot
The clothes one,
yeah, that
Teeth.
one. And
Yeah.
The
when
pots.
when they met up with Stark and
sour grapes.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, the sour grape.
when they met up with Stark and they fought the dragon, it was all for a spell book
Grimoire.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see people without their clothes.
Yeah, see through people. See through people's clothes.
Yeah. So she does it as a hobby. And when you're mentioning how you're so enamored with the magic, ironically, she has to hide the magic in order to like pass her by. Like, I'm not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah. So it's a curious type of like balance where she is the most powerful entity in that world, but she's just trying to do her silly hobby.
Wait, here's the.
And
Wait. But I got to build on that because
Before you do that,
I got this is important because like for her, she just passes it off as a silly hobby.
Yeah.
Right?
Ironically,
Getting these spells. But she comes out because I think Fern asked her something. She's like, well, why do you go and get these little silly spells? And she's like, well, there was once this idiot that used to compliment me on my spells. And so now
Himmel.
it's Himmel.
Yeah.
And so now the reason for her gathering all these spells is because Himmel used to compliment her for it. So doing that, then you realize, all right, so she's like, get the sour grape spell. And she's like, well, why are you getting this? It's because Eisen, his favorite food was sour grapes. So she went out that way to get that sour grape spell because of Eisen. So it not only is each spell that she gathers like her giving back to Himmel, but she's doing it for a reason. Like, that was her giving back to Eisen by getting the sour grapes. And she says it's just a silly hobby, but it's not. That's her connection to Himmel because that's how he saw her. That's how he congratulated her. It was something it internalized into who she was.
Well, here's the thing though. Fern doesn't know Himmel that well. So
they all know of Himmel.
Well, yeah, but
because
during that specific interaction, though, where she mentioned about the silly spell thing, Fern's just over their head, and
she didn't understand. She didn't understand because she was just like, "Why are you collecting all these silly spells?" And Frieren would just be like, "That's my hobby." That's how she passed it off. It wasn't until she pushed her to be like, "Why is this is more than just a hobby?" When she's like, "I do it because this idiot like I wrote down the quote.
Oh, well,
like she specifically said that.
What I'm trying to get ultimately is that the biggest mystery of the show, besides the magic and the Demon King, if it's still there, is the love story.
What love story?
Between who?
Well,
Himmel
here we go.
or
Himmel
Fern and
and
Stark?
Himmel and Frieren. Well, I think
Well, Fern and
think
Stark is will they, won't they?
No,
Oh my God! This is.
I think Fern and Stark is definitely
like
going to
Will and
happen.
Grace.
Yeah.
no.
Fern and Stark is definitely going to happen.
Well, Fern and Stark.
Well, Fern and
is my third favorite quote of the year. Will they start dating already?
yes,
Yeah.
they
I
will.
hope not.
Sign was like, yeah.
I hope not.
I think they're going to at least try at
I
some
hope
point.
not. I
What are you about to
enjoy
say,
them
Edwin?
being friends.
I think I like.
Look, they have a lifetime to go down that road.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we might not see in this show.
I think we will because this
I
show
think
is
we will.
time skip crazy.
It might
think we
play.
will.
It might play in that way, but it might play that way. But I'm kind of hoping it doesn't because it's like this is her journey, and I hope. And I think we already saw that with the dwarf in this last village,
Yeah.
where it plays out, where like his memory of that. But going back to what you said, I had a quote too, and it's like I don't remember who said it, but it was like he's the reason she's decided to get to know people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it became since day one with the funeral.
But we're not going to talk about Stark and Fern holding hands. I mean,
At the- yeah.
she
Well, after that
She
bracelet,
is clearly
I mean,
smitten.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
Stark just doesn't understand what he needs to do.
no.
in my opinion,
I
period.
think she absolutely has feelings for him. I
100%.
think that he hasn't worked out his feelings.
No, I think he just doesn't know.
No, I think he doesn't know because of her demeanor and how she treats him.
I think it's
but
just
she doesn't
Stark.
understand that. I don't think he understands that she has feelings for you. She just doesn't.
I don't think Stark understands what feelings are. I mean,
Yeah,
he literally got
no,
his
I agree
first
with that,
birthday
too.
gift, and he was like,
Well, besides,
I agree with that too. I think it's hand in hand. I don't think he understands what feelings are, and I think that's what confuses him because he's like, she's treating me like this. She must hate me.
This goes
But-
to a point that we had about, and it goes to a point of all of these characters and their backgrounds, and it goes to a point that you and I argued about in Chainsaw Man, where it's like,
Doesn't
These are
Stark
all-
remind you of Denji?
A
Like
little
his
bit,
design?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was just me.
it's reminiscent.
Okay.
But it goes back to the fact that, like we had this discussion about Chainsaw Man, where he was on this quest to touch a boob, and you're like, I don't get it. It's because
boob.
Chainsaw Man. Let's put it.
this is Jamaal.
Let's put Chainsaw Man self at me.
But the point is that this man was locked in a closet for the majority of his life. So when he comes out, it's like he's excited about that jam and toast,
Exactly. Yeah.
And so him and Power, they don't have kind of like that past that's normalized. And that's the same thing for Stark. That's the same thing for Fern. And that's the same thing for Frieren. Because in each case, their families were kind of taken away.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they don't
very
really-
traumatic
yeah.
exchange.
They really haven't
Stark
seen.
doesn't understand
No.
Right.
what it is to even remotely court.
Yeah.
And was Sign also
And neither
an
does
orphan
Frieren,
too?
because if we go back to your discussion, she was pretty young when her village was wiped out.
Exactly.
And
She was very
managed
young.
to,
Neither
yeah.
one know what they're doing,
No,
Right.
none of them do.
and
Actually,
it's hilarious. And friend can't help. What's she gonna do?
The only one that understands and seen it was Sign.
yeah,
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, she's definitely.
What did he
Wasn't
say?
Sign
Just
also
date
another-
already.
Yeah.
That was literally his word.
Yeah.
Just date
that was
already.
Jack's favorite quote.
My third favorite
Because she was so
of the year.
because that was the whole birthday gift thing because he sees what's playing out.
Yeah.
And he's like, because he came up differently. He came up with these emotions and these things, and he's like, I love older women. has nothing for a friend, but
He likes some
he
vixens.
he likes it.
She
But
too flat.
he sees them, and he saw each one of them for what they were,
Yeah,
and he's like, she likes him. She likes him, and he doesn't understand. He's trying to figure out a gift, and he's just like, it really doesn't matter.
no,
Like, she's going to be happy with anything.
yeah,
And we saw that when early in the season when Frieren got her the little hair brooch thing or whatever, and she was like, I don't know, and she was just like, I would have liked anything that you gave me.
100%.
So it's
Bada boom.
each one. Fern is probably the
All
most
his homeboys
emotionally
behind Stark.
advanced
Get
of
her.
the three.
yeah.
Yes, Fern is the most emotionally advanced of the three,
And she's
but
still
she's
not,
still
like, yeah.
stunted at that. Like, I like you, but I don't know how to express it, so I'm going to punch you.
There's a interaction in the newest episode where, they're supposed to ask this one stranger a question. Oh, it's the old lady at the village, and they're like, "Oh, she might know where to grow warriors." Fern was the one that mentioned, "We can't ask these questions because we're all socially awkward."
Yeah.
Bro,
It's true.
It's such a great truth, though. They are. They
Yeah.
are so messed up.
They are. And that's the crazy thing, that Sign was like, of them, he was the most normal and mature of them all.
And he wasn't at all.
And he wasn't at
Oh
all.
no.
He was like weirdly, he's like a tamer version of Hitler.
But he would have
Yeah.
been
Well,
able. No, well, he was a.
He's not as raging alcoholic.
Well,
No,
he
Hyder
chose not to
was-
engage
Yeah.
in life either.
Right.
Like the drinking, the substance abuse. He was off like drowning himself.
Yeah.
He was drowning his fear
Yeah.
of actually living.
His brother
He was
was the
Vash.
one that was doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
He was pulling a Vash.
yeah.
Yeah.
The way I look at it now, I'm like,
Yeah, pretty much
it
trash.
definitely was Vash. trash.
And was he an orphan too?
Very destructive.
Yeah, him and his
But
brother.
had his
Okay,
own
him and his brother.
demons to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was like.
Well, Hyder
she-
kind of took them in.
Yeah,
But he
and
kind
trained
of
him to be
trained.
a
Yeah.
priest.
She understood that he was afraid, and she understood that he was kind of like, I'm not going to.
Because
She's
that
been
was
there.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She been
Yeah.
And that's why she
there
understood
700
him.
years ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm 100.
And that's why she
When Himmel
pushed.
came, it was about 100, I guess.
Yeah.
40, 80.
And
when
that's
he
why
died.
she pushed. Yeah, I think it was
About 80 or so, I would guess.
It was
I think
80
80,
years.
yeah,
Yeah,
80
it was
years.
50
It was 80
It
years.
was 50 years after they last.
It was 80 years.
And she teased that she might see them in another 100 years.
Okay.
So,
And by the way, that's my only criticism of the show. Only criticism, mind you. Like, unless you're watching the TV up close to your hand or watching on a tablet or something.
the credits do move a little
No,
fast.
that whenever they show the timeline.
Oh,
like,
I know what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
It moves fast.
I had to pause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
27,
I've had to
28.
pause.
Yeah.
Because we're like, what did I say?
Yeah.
How
And then,
many years?
and then in the first episode, in the first frame, it's really cool because it shows the map, but also shows Flam's quote of like,
Yes.
I have to go to Ariel. This is where people can lay to rest. So I must enjoy with my friends. So it's a hidden like theme snuck in there.
Well, that's the show.
yeah.
Because
Unless you read the manga.
well, that's
it.
the show because Hyder and Eisen, they were like, they saw her break down at the death of Himmel, and they were like, you need to go here and you need to talk to him. And over at Ariel, that's where where Flame
The
tells
souls
her the
rest.
souls rest, but they tell him, they say there you can speak to the souls. And so they were like, you need to go on a journey to go there to speak to him.
He literally gave her something to do.
Yeah, he gave her. So that
was it. That
she
was
asked
literally
him
what it was.
Yeah, she asked him, "Is there anything I could do for you?" And he was
And he
like,
knew what he was
"This is
doing.
what I want you to do for me.
knew what he
Go
was
there."
You
And
know
she-
exactly what it was.
Yeah,
doing.
and she's like, "Have you and Hyder been planning this the whole time?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That corrupt priest."
We write to each other.
Oh man.
But you see all these characters that Hyder influenced after he like slowed down and got old, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And weirdly, ironically, you don't see his powers on full display yet during the show with the
I know. I'm
flashbacks.
kind
Oh,
of.
did you read the manga?
No, but
Seeing Cyan's abilities
Yeah.
and what he did, it makes you
No.
wonder what Hyder was
yeah,
capable
I have a feeling
of.
he's really powerful.
Yeah.
He
When,
is.
when he had that
Well,
send
he had to be like, I want to see him
Yes.
fight like the undead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because as a priest, it's like that would be like his main, like, yeah.
If he's even coming
especially
Well, I
at
mean,
the
in a
details.
flash-
in the flashback,
Oh,
yeah,
flashback.
like when they, because I guess
Because at some point you have to see them, because
Yeah.
you haven't seen them like
valid.
fight.
Yeah, you haven't
No.
seen.
Yeah.
You haven't
Like
seen
you haven't seen
Himmel
them
fight.
unleash. Yeah.
You haven't
we
seen-
haven't seen it, but they said that
That's a valid-
where the village of the soul,
fight.
no, where the village of the souls are, they said the Demon King's castle's there.
Yeah.
So we're going to see
Which
it
is
at
a
that
whole
point.
nother story, honestly, because the souls are at the Demon King Castle.
I think the demon.
That's
King's still alive.
interesting. Yeah.
So we're gonna.
I have a theory on that.
It's like, why is heaven at the Demon King's
I have a
castle?
theory. I
exactly.
have a theory
Got
on
some
that.
questions on that one.
I have a theory on that. The Demon King is still alive.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I mean, because he had people from his army still alive.
No, I
They're
think,
still-
I think they killed him.
I think they
If
killed
anything,
him. But
yeah, I think they killed him. I don't think they killed him in the way we think they killed him.
Yes, that too.
I think that's gonna be because this show likes to turn things on its head.
With the sword,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hero sword.
Yeah.
That hero
Yeah.
sword took me off. When he
Yeah.
was like, oh, he never pulled it up.
I loved
What?
that.
yeah, I love that
absolutely
too.
Love
And
that.
then
I
who thought
love that
Stark
too.
was going to pull it?
Huh?
Right,
I
show of
did.
hands if you thought Stark
I
was going to
did
pull that
for a
sword
minute.
out.
For a second, I did.
I swear to God, I was like, Stark's going to pull
I
this
thought
sword
he
out,
would.
bro.
I had a
thought he
hunch
would.
with that one, unfortunately, because every time Frieren sees a statue or a likeness with Himmel, like it would be like a cute little ploy with him being vain and silly. Like, this guy's a phony. In a sense, he's a phony.
No,
I
Stark-
really hope he killed that Demon King, man, because that's going to hurt my heart.
That's the moral of the story. Legends are never really true. They're only
you might
told.
be right.
I
hate you for this theory that you put in my heart.
Well, I don't think that it's like they're not true, but
Right.
like you see all these statues and stuff, and I think it's more that they're not perfect.
That too, yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Much agreed.
Because Hyder, she's
Much
like
agreed.
he's the corrupt priest,
Yeah.
and like they might be afraid of something, or Himmel's vain.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do a deep dive on this one. Because they're so. It's such a story that's simple but so impactful,
Yeah.
and so much to unpack for each character.
There's a ton to unpack.
Yeah, one of the best anime I think in like recent years. Like where it's just like
It's
if
literally
you're
not
Next
one.
to Bachi.
Bochi the Rock.
Bro, that anime. Woo.
Oh,
Woo.
Edwin's got a treat for you. It's his. I think it's.
Hey, what did my man say? Quote unquote.
I'm working on this one.
Nice. Oh, you make me want to draw again.
Yeah, they made me want to draw again.
Thank you for listening to another great 950 Club session with Jesse's top 10 of 2023 and our first conversation of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Jesse's number one for 2023. And yeah, it was a great discussion. And speaking of which, we're going to have another discussion on Frieren with our friend Martin, who's coming back after almost 2 years. It was a very fascinating conversation, and I hope we release it soon because this year already, Frieren seems to be the top anime for this year as well. So 2023 and 2024 might as well be Journey's End. And once again, we'd like to thank you, the listener, for checking our show. Please like, comment, share, download, the whole shebang. Please support our cause and share what you can. Thank you again, and goodbye.